Hello, friends. If you're just joining me, I decided to do a series on the Mueller report and doing tarot card readings, especially for those redacted areas, harm to ongoing matters or personal privacy. And I decided, you know what, I think I need to do most of the report because we need context for everything. So here we are. I'm going to read this with page 10 and then I'll do a reading on it. Okay, page 10. The investigation did not always yield admissible information or testimony or a complete picture of the activities undertaken by subjects of the investigation. Some individuals invoked their Fifth Amendment right against compelled self-incrimination and were not, in the office's judgment, appropriate candidates for grants of immunity. The office limited its pursuit of other witnesses and information, such as information known to attorneys or individuals claiming to be members of the media, in light of internal Department of Justice policies. See, for example, Justice Manual Code 9-13.4. Some of the information obtained via court process, moreover, was presumptively covered by legal privilege and was screened from investigators by a filter or taint team. Even when individuals testified or agreed to be interviewed, they sometimes provided information that was false or incomplete, leading to some of the false statements charges described above. And the office faced practical limits on its ability to access relevant evidence as well. Numerous witnesses and subjects lived abroad and documents were held outside the United States. Further, the office learned that some of the individuals we interviewed or whose conduct we investigated, including some associated with the Trump campaign, deleted relevant communications or communicated during the relevant period using applications that feature encryption or that do not provide for long-term retention of data or communications records. In such cases, the office was not able to corroborate witness statements through comparison to contemporaneous communications or fully question witnesses about statements that appeared inconsistent with other known facts. Accordingly, while this report embodies factual and legal determinations that the office believes to be accurate and complete to the greatest extent possible, given these identified gaps, the office cannot rule out the possibility that the unavailable information would shed additional light on or cast in a new light the events described in the report. Okay, you see what I've numbered there, 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm going to read on. Okay, first reading. It says the investigation did not always yield admissible information or testimony. Some individuals invoked their Fifth Amendment right against compelled self-incrimination and were not, in the office's judgment, appropriate candidates for grants of immunity. So, we want to know, maybe, if my cards have been programmed for those individuals, who invoked their Fifth Amendment right with the special counsel's office, and why did they invoke their Fifth Amendment right? So, universe, we just want to see, who and why invoked their Fifth Amendment right. Okay, universe, cut my deck. What do we have under here? Oh, judgment. Probably a good choice then, I guess, if you're being judged. Okay, let's see, signifier. So, they invoked their Fifth Amendment right, which was probably better luck for them on their end, but also demonstrated a sense of cooperation. Covered in their discussions overseas. Was covering them. Paul Manafort. Okay, so the challenge is Paul Manafort. And so this is probably why Manafort held out for so long and was not cooperative, and everyone else instituted their Fifth Amendment right because of Paul Manafort, which today, I did a reading yesterday on Paul Manafort because it certainly seemed like the tides had changed and he's cooperating, and he is now. At the base of this, the root of this was because of their plan, their very special plan about the 2016 election and how they were using foreign assistance, not limited to Russia, that is for certain. What was crowning this decision to invoke Fifth Amendment rights is because if they didn't, they're terrified that they would end up like Paul Manafort. In the past, what happened? In the past, they had to make decisions about whether or not to cooperate with the special counsel office, show up or not, and they had to decide what kind of information they were going to use, how it was going to help them versus another. And because what was to come is all that data, all those communications, all that data related, infinite amounts of data. And they won. Who wants to give that up? So at the base of this, how do we see people that invoke their Fifth Amendment rights? Well, Knight of Wands. So you can think of this as all the people who were out there serving to protect Donald. I have a list of Knight of Wands. Just a second. Okay, Knight of Wands. You know what? I thought I had a lot more information on the Knight of Wands. It's actually the Knight of Pentacles that keeps showing up a lot. But my Knight of Wands, in the beginning, that was Bill Barr. Now it's been White House counsel for a while. I would say that the Knight of Wands had influences over Roger Stone, recently Jeffrey Epstein, Pence, and Zuck. I don't think Zuckerberg was the Knight of Wands, but he played a role with it. I really thought I had more. And in fact, all these people who were indicted recently, including Keith Davidson, Lewandowski, Flynn, well, we already know. Howard, I don't know who that is, but I have that name down. Kushner, Kelly, Pecker, Porter, Sessions, Stone, Rosenstein. I would look to them as kind of Knight Wand. Oh, Rohrabacher. There's a Knight of Wand. I did not see that. So this is Knight of Wands. So I wonder if Rohrabacher, did he invoke his Fifth Amendment? He did. But this could also mean other people. Wow, if they got Dana Rohrabacher, I wonder who else they got. Who's that guy? Well, with Dana Rohrabacher, his social media guy, Chris Cooper, he might be one as well. But now he's working with Tulsi Gabbard's campaign in Hawaii. Also that guy, last name Johnson, he got booted off of Twitter. He's another one. So it could be any of those people. And in fact, I wonder if any governors are involved. So the environment of invoking a Fifth Amendment right, we have, because they all knew the Six Wands mob, all had ties. The Six Wands mob includes that shared celebration, the core of which are Trump, Putin, Xi, Un, MBS, and Netanyahu, that have spread out across 250 elections globally. I'm telling you, we're not just taking down Donald. We have to take down this too. Kind of hard. Okay, the hopes of invoking Fifth Amendment right is because of justice. Biggest fear with that, the news from overseas, and Ivanka, and Junior, and I would throw Eric in there too. The ideal situation invoking Fifth Amendment would be keep them guessing. Keep them guessing, delay, disconnect the dots, distraction, have an unfinished investigation that Bill Barr would eventually stop. Okay, what's to come? Russia. Nope, fate, there you go. Okay, what do I want clarifiers on regarding invoking Fifth Amendment? Maybe this. Okay. Where is, there you are. Let's get some golden tarot out. Okay. Was there any more to invoking Fifth Amendment right having to do with, meeting with special counsel, or was it something more than that? What was that about? We have Five of Cups. I think that's my Mike Flynn card. So connect. You guys, Mike Flynn is so all over 6-1's mob. Me. Eight of Swords. This would be the Saudis, MBS, Middle East. Oh, this is Bill Gates. I'm not Bill Gates. I keep saying the wrong person. I'm sorry, Rick Gates. Because Rick Gates is the one that has cooperated so much and has illuminated so much that we've gotten so far. I mean, he has played a really pivotal role. Okay, so what kind of communications were there that someone would want to invoke Fifth Amendment rights? Oops. Oh. The Ten of Pentacles, the Trump dynasty. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh boy, that's a lot of people. Just we have Lavrov, Pompeo, Eric Prince, Carter Page. That's all I'm going to name right now. And what does this all mean? I was saying data or money. They invoked their Fifth Amendment right because they did not want to let the special counsel know how they changed minds, perhaps changed votes, but altered voter information, voter data. Oh my gosh, remember all these databases were hacked. How many states was it? 46. That's included in here. They were responsible. Every single state that had their voter rolls hacked, that's why. Four of Cups. Oh, they just do not want to let that out. Ooh, Four of Cups. This is Tad Devine. He was Bernie Sanders' campaign manager. And Five of Swords. That's, yes. and Paul Manafort. So that's why they invoked their rights to Fifth Amendment. Okay, part 2, I think. Okay, so it said, even when individuals testified or agreed to be interviewed, they sometimes provided information that was false or incomplete, leading to some of the false statement charges described above. So, universe, we'd like to know what those false statements were. Give us an idea about what that was. Oh, whoops. Yeah, what were those false statements about? Wow, these cards just don't feel cooperative. Okay, what were those false statements about? Oh man, these are stuck. Okay. Universe, divide. Can you please cut the deck? The false statements had to do with that which would, burden them even more, incriminate them even more, to avoid getting to the final step of being incriminated, because this is a 9. Okay, so I just want to get a feel for what those false statements were. So if I could have a signifier. The false statements had to do with changing Hillary Clinton voters' minds, how the operation targeted voters in the 2016 election. And I'm not even going to say just Hillary Clinton. I'm going to say Trump voters, so that they could, explode both sides. It was how they altered the mindset of the electorate. Military grade psyops were used on Facebook. And I have a link to that somewhere, but it's there. Covered in how Russia influenced the electorate. Oh my gosh. This is so bad, you guys. Okay, the challenge, I'm lying, was their communications that were already established. So they tried to give false information about their communications. Hello, Robert. But it was about the person they wanted to make the star. So they didn't want to get Donald in trouble either, crowning this for all to see. Hi, Jared. Jared or Junior. And the money. They didn't want to get Jared or Junior in trouble. So, and in the past, this is ending the Mueller report, but it's also, wanted to, these are the lies. These are the lies, and they just wanted to separate themselves from everything that was, yes, so they just wanted to really distance themselves from what actually happened. This is the 2016 election in gold. Can't change that. To come was, yeah, that's why. Who wants a tower? And with them changing, making false statements, they were seen as in on it together. It kind of all stemmed from the same thing. And the environment of all that was, again, 8 swords. Bind up the Hillary Clinton campaign, suppress voters, and just, if they could make her disappear, they would. And by making false statements, they hope to create enough cloud of information. They hope that that would be satisfactory, whatever they said. Enough to go away. See, look, it's on Facebook. It's out there on social media. Their fears were, yeah, if I made true statements, this is what would happen. So the ideal making false statements was, the idea they wanted was the Mueller report, because they knew they could end it. They knew it was ending. So they created enough distraction. What was to come? USA. Anyway. Yeah. Tied up because of the election. Okay. That was part 2. And part 3 had to do with the individuals they interviewed or conduct being investigated. They had deleted relevant communications or communicated during the relevant period using apps that featured encryption or do not provide long-term retention. So we want to know, what deleted relevant communications was special counsel the investigation looking for? What were the contents of those communications about? Cut my deck. The White House. Wow. This is really zeroed in on the White House. So communications regarding the White House, those type of communications were about their secret talks, the money, all the different countries. What was covering them was not only the money, but the data. The data, whether it was on social media, state voter rolls, psychographic profiling through Cambridge Analytica. The challenge was the data. The data, the machine, all of that kept under wraps. Wow. At the root of this, to win the election. We all know you guys talked with them. The entire Trump family, the Trump dynasty, all those communications. And now they're going to pay for it. Because we see all those communications were from the Trump crime syndicate. And all the news from overseas. That's Junior. Could be Ivanka. And hoping to, and by doing that, it would hope to delay investigation. Stop the other, stop Mueller special counsel. Because the fear was they wouldn't have strength had they not. They needed to stay strong. And it would make the Mueller investigation, their case, strong, solid. Ideally, they just kept it all a secret. And to come about those deleted messages, treason. It was all of their treason. And Kim Jong-un hacking, the master hacking that he did with our election to deliver. Think those are love letters? Those are codes. Haven't heard much about love letters lately, have you? Okay, well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that people are enjoying this journey with me. If you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and maybe share. Okay, thanks you guys.
You don't see that in Hawaii, that's for darn sure.
You don't see that anywhere. That thing